Flash Wolves.
Okay, as we get into Champ Select, we were talking about Galio off the board. I agree with you in the top side. Maybe it's still like a strong point for Flash Wolves, but Fab Fabulous has been hanging on. Now, as we continue through, Malzahar off the board for Sword Art. We saw the impact in the last game, but we also saw Flash Wolves prioritize Zyra as a first pick here. So if Supermassive don't get it off the table, maybe Flash Wolves will go for it again.
Final ban from Flash Wolves will be the Lulu. So again, banning out Lulu Kingdom, which was Supermassive's go-to picks.
Oh, hang on. It's either Zyra or Syndra here.
Oh, it's Zyra.
Oh, it's maybe even a first pick Syndra coming from Maple.
Do they go for first pick Syndra from the Flash Wolves?
I mean, Maple's played 14 games of it and it has been devastating. Okay, so they opt not to. This might be the opportunity for Supermassive to take it away from them. But do they just go Syndra Lee and say, okay, we're just going to try and fight you at your own game? Or will it be the Graves that comes through with the Ashe like in previous games? Again,
the head coach from Fireball, Jensen, told me never, ever, ever give Flash Wolves Syndra. Never give Maple Syndra, to be specific. Supermassive have yet to take away that mid lane champion. Instead, they get Ashe and they get Lee Sin, and we will see Maple pick up Syndra heading into game 3.
So I like the takeaway of the Lee Sin. Now, do we go to the Graves later on in the draft for Kasa? I think at this point, Flash Wolves just go, okay, let's pick a good bottom lane, because we already, in our minds, we've already won mid lane, right? Echo is the likely counter pick here, but that's not what they go. They're Supermassive go down to the support.
Instead, they pick up Nami as their support of choice, opting to go for their mid lane and top lane picks last. Flash Wolves will pick up Varus as their AD carry of choice. There is a chance for Supermassive now to pinch the jungle pool. We don't see too many junglers being played at the moment. At least comes to mind. You can pick up Graves here as well.
But out is going to go the Echo, potentially. We might see the Zillion taken away, which in the play-in stage was a pick that people were playing into the Syndra. So Naru is potentially about to lose his good counter matchups here, and potentially could lose the mid lane quite hard if if Maple continues the performance from the previous games.
So there's the Echo ban coming out from Maple.
So is it a Graves ban here? That probably makes the most sense. Then you force Kasa onto the Kha'Zix.
Yep.
I don't know whether it'll be Zillion here or whether it'll be something like the Orianna or the Ahri that we've seen try to be played into the Syndra.
I mean, bear in mind, Kha'Zix is still a very comfortable champion for Kasa. He's played it almost as much as his Lee Sin and his Graves. Let's see if that's the champion he does go towards. Shen is the final ban from the Flash Wolves. We get a Fizz pick coming out from Supermassive. Gigabyte Marines do flex this in the mid lane for Optimus. Let's see if Naru's going to do the same thing into the Syndra.
And Naru played all the way through a ton of different metas. I know Fizz is a champion he can play, so it is a flex potential here. But that means Flash Wolves can just pick lanes that to some extent do well. Now I'm expecting it to go to Naru because it is a good pick into the Syndra. Typically can control that Syndra matchup and mitigates a lot of the presence of that level 6.
Ooh,
we spoke about Kha'Zix, but it's the Rengar that comes out. Now, if we see MMD go for something like a Nautilus, that's where the flex may come out. If they Nautilus here, they pick badly into both matchups here. We saw that mistake happen from teams up against the Gigabyte Marines.
This is a pick we see very commonly blind picked into the top lane.
Yeah.
Gragas, very strong top lane pick. We saw Hansa pick it up yesterday. Even the top laner for Gigabyte Marines was picking up as well. Stark. Both now having really good games in the champion. And it's a very comfortable top lane pick throughout most regions, only now seeing play in this series.
Yeah, and MMD actually didn't play it during the regular split either.
First time Gragas.
First time we're going to see it. Is a fine matchup into the Rumble in the sense that you know your presence in team fights is going to outweigh the lane presence early on that Rumble has. Now, of course, Rumble TPs into fights as well, but maybe we'll see Supermassive getting themselves ahead in these side lanes to take control of the game.
But they do take a note out of the Group B friends from the play-in stage, as they will throw Fizz into the mid lane for Naru.
Yeah, good matchup into that Syndra, which potentially sets up Supermassive with the beginning of the game that they want. They've also got the Nami into the Karma in the bottom lane. As long as you take a decent trade early on, you can out-sustain that Karma significantly. Good threat at level 6 as well. So Supermassive, this is the kind of composition that if they can prevent Kasa and Maple from getting ahead, maybe they can take control of this game. It will be difficult though.
And again, Maple is on Syndra. Champion he's played way too many times in the LMS, double digits on the champion. No other champion has come close to that number of times played by Maple. But he does have a very wide and diverse champion pool, and I'm excited to see what this Syndra is all about.
And this is where we need to see Naru understanding the trading patterns in this lane. We know he can play Fizz, but Fizz into Syndra is a matchup that early on, Syndra is able to keep at a distance and utilize the spheres, get damage down. Fizz does struggle until a couple of levels have been accrued and you can actually start utilizing some more of his kit. So I don't want to see Naru headlong charge into this lane and take a bad trade, and Maple, you know, gets Thunderlord's procs time and time again and basically wins the lane.
And there's the crowd again in the CBLOL studio, getting behind the Flash Wolves. They want revenge against SuperMassive, who knocked out the Red Canids from their respective groups. And we're heading into game number 3 of this best of 5 series. Flash Wolves, if they win here, they'll move into the next round of MSI, going up against the likes of North America, Europe, Korea, as well as China. Whereas SuperMassive, if they drop a game here, they still have one more chance to qualify in that final match against the Gigabyte Marines.
Oh, it's the same as game 1. This time, though, Dumbledore gives over some extra presence in the lane. Does obviously now concede control of bot side because you have to be careful of where the Gragas, the Syndra are now, but good wards in response now, just to catch if anybody's walking back up towards mid lane. Oh, I don't quite clear that one out, so now they know where Sword Art and Betty are.
Look at that, 10 gold lead for Sword Art. They're winning! They're in the lead, Stress. That's what we expect from Flash Wolves.
We'll see how they can snowball this advantage in bot lane.
So Betty as well as Sword Art will get some positional advantage when this first wave comes in. Casa is trying to stay as far away from wards as possible. We'll get a leash from MMD, it seems, all the way from top lane, helping out their jungler.
Yeah, you can see that Casa drops back in the jungle here, just to kind of defend any other shenanigans coming through. But as you said, the start from MMD. MMD knows he's going to get pushed in at the beginning of this lane. He knows he won't really be able to take control. And also that Fabulous is very likely to have gone over to help Storm Aged himself. So we'll only be slightly further behind on the time. And it helps Casa out significantly. Rengar on the Raptor start is very difficult early on, can take a lot of damage down, and we did have those adjustments come through onto Rengar, which made his ability to heal up not quite so insane as it used to be.
Such a great leash coming out from MMD. Keeps Casa fully topped off.
He didn't even smite yet. And now he smites.
He's doing an entire red side clear. Yes, Rengar has been nerfed heading into MSI, but when he was very popular just before his nerfs, they would usually go for an entire side of the jungle clear, recall, pick up a longsword, go back to the other side of the jungle.
And that's exactly what he's looking to do here. He knows Stormage can't outpace him up to the red side that quickly. So any, onto the blue side. So any opportunity that Stormage would have is kind of reduced by that. Now Casa gets full health, has the double jungle items to start, even picks up a control ward and now goes to his blue buff. They know that that Lee Sin can't really effectively be there. And look at this ward already. They defended against a play like this, or they made a play like this in the last game, and now Flash Wolves, with one ward alone, defend against Stormage being on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, he was looking to try and get behind Betty and Sword Art, who are pushing up aggressively. This is the first time we've really seen the bottom lane from Flash Wolves push up very early on into the game. Remember the way they like to play, push mid aggressive, push bottom aggressive, and then allow Casa to have free reign over the opposite jungle and move wherever he'd like.
Look at how aggressively Maple is playing. They knew where Stormage was. They knew he was around the lane. And he still goes aggressive, but look at where Stormage is heading now.
He's right behind. No wards have detected him. Betty as well as Sword Art have to be a little bit careful. You can see they are playing slightly safer. Dumbledore is waiting though.
Yeah, can
there
he
you
land the
go.
bubble?
Does not connect the Sonic Wave or the bubble, and Betty just walks away laughing at the rest of SuperMassive.
Betty lined himself up just in case he needed that difficult flash and then walks away, and now Maple is turning the pressure back on. Naru has been trading his health pots and trading his health away to get a CS lead here against Maple. That means Naru recalls, TP's back to the lane, and is able to at least contend, but what that does now mean is Maple is going to be able to catch up on that CS while he's out of the lane. We'll see whether Maple can actually push out Naru once they've return to the lane. It's going to be Amped Home. Maybe he's waiting for a Doran's Ring at this point to get in back to the lane, but Naru should be in a fine spot.
currently Caster's double the CS of StoneMage, who has been trying to wander down into the bottom lane, and you might face check a Rengar to double buff Lee Sin though. Caster sees him running towards him, tries to take the Raptor camp instead, gets 3 of the small Raptors, taking some damage from StoneMage, will smite away the big one as well. Whoa, StoneMage from downtown!
I don't think you want that trade.
Yeah, no, Maple's coming right behind you, but he's going to be able to try and lock you down. Flash early from Lee Sin. Naru's joining the fight as well, healing up from Casa. First blood picked up by the Rengar, swiftly traded by Naru. Fabulous is coming down, and so is MMD. Flash away from Naru, thinking MMD was going to body slam Flash there. Blows a summoner, but it's just a 1-for-1 trade, and Fabulous slowly burns the Gragas to life.
MMD TP'd into the back of that fight to cut off Stormage, and Stormage actually kind of called the bluff there by coming back towards the fight. The Syndra stun was ready to come out, do this small enclosed area in front of Raptors, and he moves away. That inevitably ends up netting them the ability to get the kill down onto Casa, but Flash Wolves already starting to group. Naru is doing a good job so far. He's got through the early part of this lane that is tricky for him, and with that Dark Seal that he picked up, obviously enhances the ability for him to heal up. MMD was maybe looking for the body slam flash there. You watch Fabulous come forward in that lane, and you have to really respect the damage that'll come from Gragas. So this is the exchange. Maple puts the damage down on Stormage, throws the spear out, and is anticipating Lee to just keep on running. Stormage puts the damage down on Caster, which allows Naru to actually pick up some extra damage and get that kill. And then Fabulous and MMD make themselves known. Doesn't result in anything more from that exchange, though.
Very curious, sir, from StoneMage to go for that decision of jumping in on top of the Rengar. Casa was already away, had the help of Mabel close by. Naru was nowhere close as MMD running on top of an equalizer. Fabulous trying to catch him off guard. Has been doing well in this lane. MMD's going for the budget Rod of Ages build. He's picked up 3 Doran's rings here. Gets a plant to keep him topped off, and StoneMage trying to make his way towards the top side of the map as well.
Fabulous trying to maximize damage as much as he can right now. Oh, double doge.
Oh, he's very low. Arrow to the knee connects the double doge as Betty takes him down. That was almost unexpected for the Num.
Didn't see the setup for it. Now Maple's got to be careful. Fish is out.
Trying to run on in, immediately backs up towards the turret. So even though Maple is pushing up so aggressively, he's always got Casa somewhere in his back pocket.
And Naru has to be very careful if he ever uses the playful tricks to aggressively or at the beginning of a trade. That's where the unleashed power comes out from, and that's the difficult spot here. You have to kind of save that. But Naru now no fish.
Zynard's been pushed off the turret here by Betty and Sword-Up, who are slowly taking back this lane. Here's that kill again to Dumbledore.
Yeah, gets the empowered part of the Karma Q out first. And Double Doge just goes, I can get an auto, get the slow off, right?
Oh, the final minion order.
Yeah, just enough damage coming out from the Flash Wolves to be able to take him down.
Goodness. Now, bottom side of the map, Zynard not going to have that great of a time. Already, Varus and Karma doing very well. He was forced to use the heal after Dumbledore died to add insult to injury. Casa still waiting in the wings of this mid lane. He's ready in case Naru tries to go toe-to-toe against Maple.
He's ready to get Maple ahead. To put it in perspective how far ahead Maple has been over this series in general, SuperMassive, over the 2 games in this series so far, have accrued 5 kills as a team. Maple has accrued 17 on his own.
So
he's been a little bit fed.
You count it all together now. It's 7. Oh, no, not even that. Sorry. It's now...
it's 6.
Kills.
They're still not even halfway there on another game.
They're just over a third of the way towards Maple's kills.
It's so difficult. Maths becomes hard at that point when you're like, how far ahead is he? How well has he snowballed?
Come on, math's always hard anyway.
Well, we'll see how Maple can... if he can rack up the kill score now on this Syndra that we've heard so much about. I like that SuperMassive were prepared to take the Fizz into it, and it's been working well. You would consider Naru being ahead in this matchup for now, even on CS plus the kill. Will have control of the side lane as well, so that is one winning factor for SuperMassive that they can utilize now if this game does start tipping more in their favor.
And again, huge credit to SuperMassive. Once again, 3 games in a row, 10 minutes into the match, they're looking like they're nice and even against Flash Wolves. Yes, they're 1,000 gold behind, but that sort of deficit's common even amongst high-level games where you see like the best teams in Korea taking on best teams in China. SuperMassive holding on against the Flash Wolves, but it's 13 to 15 minutes where the Wolves really strike.
Yeah, it is. And so much of that comes from Casa's Lee Sin that I now kind of have to wonder, will we have the same impact on the Rengar? I have to think yes, because it's Casa, and every time he gets his hands on a jungler that can have that kind of playstyle where you're going aggressive, he tends to show up. But it's not the quintessential Casa pick, right? And I think if there's one avenue now that SuperMassive have taken from the Flash Wolves, it might be stealing the Lee Sin. I have a feeling we might be having a bot lane exchange as our observers just catching out the fact that an arrow was fired out. Didn't kind of hit by the looks of it. Didn't even force a flash.
Yeah, Stonmage was waiting in the wings, but the arrow not connecting.
Interestingly, though, look at Maple moving back up to mid lane now. He was already getting out of the lane. He knows Naru has teleport available and could join a potential exchange. So Maple, cognizant of the fact that that bot lane exchange was even in motion.
Yeah, if you're fighting in the mid lane against Maple, you're actually fighting 2-on-1. Casa, even when he's not there, he's somehow there. Fab was still pushing out top side of the map against MMD. This time the lane's got a much more even between the two players. Fab is doing what you expect from a Rumble, pushing up the waves constantly against MMD, who is more than happy to sit there and just sustain through the damage.
He must have a lot of gold in his inventory right now, though, because you see he had the Blasting Wand Ruby Crystal before, only now has picked up like an Amp Tome on top of it, so I'm interested to see how far ahead he can get on the build now for Fabulous. But he will be a reliable side lane push presence for a lot of this game. Gragas can do a good job of clearing the wave out, but typically Rumble is the one that will have the control there.
Back into this melee, still just farming between Maple as well as Naru. Casa trying to sneak a Elemental Dragon away from SuperMassive. Cloud Dragon is the first one to spawn in this game. He's taken away nice and easy. Not the best of dragons, but still nice to have.
Effective on Rengar as well. Allows you to come out of the shadows very quickly. Although Hawkshot does make that kind of difficult until you force the ult from Casa. But there is the ult, talking about it. Flash Wolves, they want to go. TP's coming in already.
The hunt. It's 12 minutes into the match stress. Double Doge will get knocked back. Casa over the wall. Leapfrogs onto Double Doge. And gets a kill for the Flash Wolves. Again, just that instant aggressiveness.
Well, the execution wasn't perfect. They blast Dumbledoge pretty much past his flash to safety. But Casa just goes, okay, I'll just get him anyway. Flashes over the wall, jumps on for the kill. And now they're looking for tower first blood. They've already got it half health. Naru's coming down. Arrow from base. But it's too far ahead of the curve here. Like, Stormage can't close the distance properly. If he does, he goes into 3.
Oh, he's locked in now. Stormage already so low. Good kick, but look at Flash Wolves just turning around, picking up an easy kill. Betty actually blocking the fish for his support. Can he live through it? The answer is yes, as Naru is forced to play full Trickster away.
And you look at that play, and you can see where the play in Stormage's mind is. You can see he's saying, hey, Flash Wolves did this to us so many times. You're only a couple of seconds out. I can disrupt them, delay them enough, put the damage down. But that couple of seconds is the difference between actually getting Naru into the fight in time, because Naru was saving his TP, that it's not the clean follow-up to the fight from SuperMassive. That could have been a great play. The arrow hit, in came the Lee Sin, but just that split-second difference is what separates a successful fight from an unsuccessful one. Flash Wolves still come out with the lead from that exchange.
What do you know, we're 30 minutes in, and Flash Wolves have a sizable gold lead for this time in the game. 2,500 gold up. Fabulous is looking to try and burn MMD down. Already down to half health, looking to try and body slam away, but the body block from Fabulous is good. He tries to flash forward, gets a slow. There's the equalizer. Knockback comes out of the ultimate. MMD will waddle his way back towards the safety of his turret.
A lot of people look at that and say, hey, why did he flash first rather than the body slam? Well, if Fabulous flashes on top of him during that animation, it stops him and basically cuts out MMD's ability to get away there. But Stormage, speaking of his ability to get away, may very well look for a kick here. I don't think they realize how close Casa is, but MMD's dead.
Yeah, we're going to get taken out by Stormage. Incredibly low. Rengar is hunting. They've got to be careful. Jumps forward, gets one. Is he going to try and fight Fabulous? The answer is yes, but
don't go to the bush. Do not go near the bush.
Naru's coming.
Fabulous.
Naru's trying to get back here. Casa stuck underneath his turret at the moment. Fish and the mechanical machine are trying to pincer in the Rengar. There goes the fish.
Oh, he got the bowler.
What? Still will walk back into it. No, you don't want to walk into a shark. Have you not watched Jaws, Casa? Still will fall. Naru picks up a kill for SuperMassive.
Just when he thought it was safe to go back into the top lane, at that point gets bound down. But now, look, it's the tower push coming through on the bottom side of the map once again. Zeitnot and Dumbledoge having to concede presence. It's damage for now. It's not the tower, but again and again, Flash Wolves are looking for this. That's a good flash out of Betty, but of course, that's the whole point of these Ashe lanes. You throw out the arrow, you get the flash. Next time the arrow's back up, you should get the kill.
Betty lives to fight another day. Zeitnot he went fishing almost against the Flash Wolves. This time around, a lot more stable for SuperMassive. I mean, it is do or die for them at the moment. It is match point for the Wolves.
For this series, at this point, it's do or die on getting into the MSI groups today. Of course, Flash Wolves and SuperMassive. The loser of this will face Gigabyte Marines on Saturday for the final spot. 3 of the 4 teams that were in round 2 will advance to the MSI group stage.
Only one team will not continue. But at the way Flash Wolves are currently playing, they're expected to move on.
Yeah, feels like they've already kind of booked their travel. They're like, okay, we're going. We're just going to win really quick and clean, apparently.
And some people say that this is the second best region heading into MSI. Coming in from the Flash Wolves after their dominant split from the LMS.
It's impressive. A lot of people, up until recently, really underestimate the LMS teams that come out. I mean, we've had a number of World Championships where people didn't really give them credit, but at the same time, there have been a blip here or there on the radar for the likes of Flash Wolves. And HQ, which is the other team that typically comes out strong in the LMS region. But I think when you look holistically over a long time, they've always been performing up to a very high standard.
They have. SuperMassive and Flash Wolves have a very similar story. SuperMassive very dominant in their region. Flash Wolves as well. We'll talk about how they were incredibly undefeated for majority of the split until they dropped a single game in a best-of-5 series against AHQ. But in the LMS, it's really just Flash Wolves, AHQ as well, and then maybe JT from time to time.
It's very interesting for the Flash Wolves because as Naru gets himself out of mid lane, the Flash Wolves almost single-handedly changed how the European LCS played, in the sense that they showed so many openings in G2, H2K, and Unicorns of Love that a lot of the teams went, okay, we'll emulate that. We'll take this mid lane push into the jungle and fight the jungler as much as we can. And that really changed how the teams like G2, H2K ended up thinking about the game. And that's impressive for one team at one tournament over one weekend to go, okay, well, we'll just dumpster the top 3 teams and make it look easy. Only H2K showed them some sense of fight. And Flash Wolves just ended up coming back into that series and looking very, very strong.
SuperMassive now want to try their hand to take down an Elemental Dragon, second Cloud Dragon of the game to spawn. 18 minutes into the match, and they're only about 2,000 gold behind the Flash Wolves, and this will be Dragon secured. No one from the side of Flash Wolves are there to stop this.
The thing for SuperMassive right now is they need to somehow defend the inevitable tower pushes. You can see the low health in the bottom tower, low health on the top tower. Fabulous uses the equalizer to just clear out the wave. At some point, Flash Wolves will start a fight that is targeting those towers. They'll take a kill and try and move in on likely bottom tower. That's what they've done quite a few times. That's what SuperMassive have to be prepared to defend against. Otherwise, the map opens up, Flash Wolves take control, and SuperMassive are left kind of lagging behind. But Naru, I like this, moving down from the middle lane, trying to get the fight started themselves. If they can take first tower blood, that would be exactly what they need. No flash!
Betty flash forward, Fish does not connect, still will be able to get the knockup. Betty falls first, Teleport coming into the bottom lane as well, but MMD is here, not going to be able to knock him back enough. Zeitnot going to get locked out, here comes Maple, looking for a kill of his own. Zeitnot's got nowhere to run as MD chases forward for the rest of the team. 1-for-2 trade still going in favor of the Wolves.
I like that SuperMassive were trying to make a play onto the bottom side, but without real vision on where Casa is and the way that Flash Wolves can regroup themselves. They brought MMD down to the fight. Fabulous actually cancelled his teleport in order to push top at the same time. So this was the start. Zeitnot gets the arrow onto Betty because we know his flash is unavailable. Good layering of the bubble, but the fish doesn't quite land. And look at all of the healing that comes onto Betty and delays Naru and Stormage at that point under the tower. Then Zeitnot can't really hold on once Maple is down from the middle lane. And Flash Wolves turn around the fight. So we saw both towers go down. Didn't see who got tower first blood though during the replay. Fabulous had pushed up a little quicker, but of course that tower was already low.
Oh, Naru getting chased down here by Maple. Sword Art's moving into the mid lane as well. He's trying to dodge out these skill shots. Tether coming through as well. Stonmage wants a piece of the action as well as he jumps on in.
Well, at that point, there's always a bigger fish. Oh, here they go.
It's a flash kick. Sword Art gets taken out first. Rengar looking to try and jump into the rest of SuperMassive, but they make a big play mid lane.
With no TP on MMD, there was no way for the Flash Wolves to regroup. So this is the kind of opening that we haven't yet seen from the
Whoa! Double combo as MMD and Casa go in at the exact same time. Betty is going to be able to kite five Fabulous to pick up a double. Naru is going into the back line. Betty trying to blast cone himself away. MMD trying to fight Godfist Lee Sin as well as Nami, but Naru is on the hunt. Slowed down by the Hell of Arrows. Second blast cone for Betty to get out.
Maple's coming up just to deter him. We thought that was the opening that we hadn't really seen from Flash Wolves. The SuperMassive were taking control of. Well, they weren't expecting Casa and the rest of the team to just jump onto Zeitnot, who didn't have his flash available. Ooh. Naru jumps out from MMD. They flash the icons.
Gives him a bit of a taunt as well. As he stands still after the body slam. He's loving it, Naru. Still flashing his icon. You look at his player cam, he's smiling. He's got a cheeky grin there.
And this is what Naru needs to be doing. He's 3-0 on this game. He is perhaps the last hope for SuperMassive on this setup. If they can get a fight started and he can carry it through. We saw that for Optimus from the Gigabyte Marines. If he can have that impact in team fights, maybe it's enough to hold, because Flash Wolves are forcing fights so fast that SuperMassive can't rely on their side laners anymore.
There's a tidal wave. SuperMassive looking for an early fight. Naru takes half his health and damage to kick things off. Stomach looking to try and get into the back lines. No flash available for the Lee Sin. Flash Wolves will take another turret. They already sent Betty top lane to get one. They've already got two in the mid lane as MMD takes some damage from Naru, but too tanky here.
But blink and you miss it. It goes from SuperMassive looking like they can contend to now being 5k down.
Betty catches him with the tip of the ultimate, but he's going to get burnt alive. Fabulous fancies a fight. Will get jumped up by Casa. Fish does connect. Casa going to be able to escape for now. MMD in the back line. Stein not going to fall. MMD picks up that kill. Dumbledore locked down by the body slam. He's going to be the next one to die as the Flash Wolves will get 3 more kills against SuperMassive.
Another game where from even to full control in about 10 minutes for the Flash Wolves. They have just turned this game completely around. Stormage, he's going to try and get this steal. It will be a hero moment if he can get it, but it won't likely be enough to save the series, and Flash Wolves even say, okay, this isn't worth it. We're already ahead. We're so far up, we can just go back and do this the right way. Back out with just over 6,000 gold lead, and again, another fight. This is very aggressive from Betty to be moving forward like this into SuperMassive, but they know that Zeitnot, Stormage, and Naru are off to the side, so they buy enough time. Redemption kicks in, Casa doesn't die to Zeitnot, and then the stun. Nothing Zeitnot can do from that, doesn't have any way of getting himself out alive, and Dumbledore is left all alone. Flash Wolves, again, immaculate team fighting is so difficult to contend with.
Maple, although he's up against a Fizz, has been able to be dominant in the lane, still looking really fancy on this Syndra.
And you know it really hurts as a bot laner to look at your items and you're like, I'm nearly at Hurricane, and you find the guy the other side has Hurricane and QSS already. Well, he's gonna have to run from Naru right now. That's how significant the lead is, that Betty is pretty much safe at all times now.
Zeitnot, though, going one-on-one against Casa. I don't think you want to pick a fight between these two. Even gives it over to Maple. He gets the turret, though.
He got the turret. It's a win. It's a win. We'll give it. Zeitnot, he got the turret.
If you're watching the play games, Casa just turns to his left and goes, really?
Really? Really, Maple? You couldn't hit him with the Q? Well, Maple's like, no, I'm just focused. I only want the kills, racking my number up. Right now, we are at the kill count between Maple and SuperMassive is 10 kills for SuperMassive, 19 kills for Maple. So Flash Wolves having the most dominant series I've seen from them in quite some time.
Keep this up and eventually flame horizon it. Casa now looking to try and take down Infernal Dragon for his team, but SuperMassive do group up. There's no Zeitnot available for them as he's running out of base at the moment, but Flash Wolves peel off, move towards mid lane.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Maple just threw blue buff at Dragon to kill it. Now Fabulous is dead.
He did throw blue buff at Dragon to kill it, but during that time, Fabulous just gets obliterated by a body slam, ultimate compliment of D. SuperMassive is going to get locked down here. He's trying to run away. Casa jumps on in. Double Doge is going to get locked down by the Bola Strike. Ooh. Is this the push to win again from the Flash Wolves? Well, that's another 3 kills.
It's either the push for the inhibitor or for the Baron now. They have pretty much everything at their disposal. You cannot argue how big of a statement Flash Wolves are making here about wanting to get into the MSI groups, how dominant they are looking. And if I'm already there, if I'm TSM, G2, Team WE, and maybe not SKT, I'm afraid of the Flash Wolves right now, and those are some great matchups that you're looking forward to.
And unlike the other Wolves, the Dire Wolves, you have a legitimate reason to be afraid of this team right now, because the Flash Wolves look dominant.
Oh, that combo. MMD with the cask in the middle of the body slam just gets the knockback on Fabulous.
And it was just lights out from here. SuperMassive trying to fight back, but Cask is already in the back lines, and all they can do is retreat.
I am so looking forward to a Flash Wolves SKT rematch that we've seen a couple of times.
They are the Korean Slayers. Whew. A very fun match to watch. At the moment, though, SuperMassive are still fighting for their right to try and advance in the MSI here. They pick up an Infernal Dragon for themselves. 9,000 gold behind the Flash Wolves at match point. It's a very dire situation for SuperMassive.
Absolutely. There is like one shot left. One last fight in the tank by the looks of it. And that's to say that if SuperMassive can somehow get like this team fight where Fizz comes in on the flank with a perfect equalizer, they can delay the game. But look at how aggressive Casa is. That might be the undoing of the Flash Wolves, but with match point already there.
Arrow. Oh, splits the wickets there, and suddenly Flash Wolves turn it around. Double Doge going to be the second one to die in this fight. Double body bot from MMD. Will get kicked back by StoneMage, who also gets knocked back by MMD himself. Naru is forced to flee towards the other side of the map. And again, just like that, Flash Wolves get 2 more kills.
Flash Wolves will now push out the top side tower. They have full control of the jungle. It'll be either a movement out to Baron or the second inhibitor of the game. More likely towards the Baron with 20 seconds left on Fabulous. It's going to be a clinical end to this game. They're actually going to heal up.
Yeah,
Let's try and go for it.
Flash Wolves won another inhibitor turret here. MMD trying to get into the back lines. Doesn't have Flash available, but the body bomb still threatening. Naru goes in. Zonya's being popped. Dumbledore throws out the tidal wave as he tries to Hextech throw about his way out. Going back on in. MMD taking up a turret. Might fall here. StoneMage into the back line.
Oh, he got
interrupted halfway through his Sonic Wave. And Flash Wolves will push for another inhibitor turret. Look at Fab was just sitting way too far away, trying to use his flame spitter there.
He's no ultimate. He can't capitalize on the fact MMD has no health, and now Maple is just destroying Zeitnot.
Here goes Naru, though, straight on top of Betty. Body bot from MMD knocks him back. He will fall first to Fabulous, but Casa's here. Gonna get slowed down by the Karma. Fabulous is trying to run. Scrap shield increases his movement speed, but now he's just sitting inside the jungle. Flashing of icons everywhere. Double kill for the Rengar. And Flash Wolves with the A's are looking to try and tie up this series.
That's it. Super Minions already pushing through into the mid lane. Flash Wolves have been dominant in a very swift 3-0 against SuperMassive.
3-0 every single game, sub 30 minutes. Not only was this match an absolute shellacking, but the entire series was. Good night, StoneMage. See you next week as Flash Wolves move towards the Nexus. They will advance to the next round of Mid-Season Invitational 2017.
Make no mistake, the Flash Wolves have come here looking dominant. They won the IEM World Championship earlier this year, and they are looking poised to be a real contender at the MSI group stage. Man, they looked incredibly strong.
You hear the crowd there. They've got the revenge they were looking for against SuperMassive. Knocked them back into effectively the lower bracket to try and fight their way into the next round of MSI. We'll still see them play in 2 days' time. They'll go up against the Gigabyte Marines, but congratulations to the Flash Wolves. They advance to the next round.
Yeah, they take a bow to a very, very energized crowd watching the Flash Wolves play. Quick games, but Flash Wolves They're exciting games to watch, always aggressive, and you can really respect the movements they have on the map, always capitalizing with the right fights to take.
And it looks nice and calm for the first 10 minutes, and then 30 minutes.